How goes it? How are you guys doing today? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yep.
Can you hear us?
All
Yeah.
right. Hello.
Hello.
My phone was doing weird things. All right, I think we're good now. Am I froze again?
No, you're not freezing.
All right, let me.
Going slow.
Apparently, I lost service, so I'm gonna try to find better service. How are you guys doing today?
Yeah, we're going good. Just been we've got some ribs on the UDS at the moment, but it's going good.
Brian, can you hear me okay?
I got you.
All right. So first off, tell us your names and your guys' team names, Facebook groups, all the above.
I'm Steven Powell with Ugly Drunk Smoking Texas. My Facebook, same thing, Ugly Drunk Smoking Texas. That's my Instagram, as well as my YouTube. This is Adam Yorke.
Yeah, I'm from Ugly Drum Smokers Australia. I've got Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok as UDS Australia or Ugly Drum Smokers Australia. I've got the Aussie flag on it. Yeah, so you can't miss that. When I was doing the SCA, I wasn't doing it. My friend Daniel Drinkwater from Steak and Cleaver Q, he was doing the SCA, so I was supporting him with that as well over the weekend.
So what got you guys started with the Ugly Drum Smokers?
The ease of use. I saw one at a competition one time when I was just getting back into the sport, and I saw the guy win with it. I said, somebody won with a rusty trash can. And I did a little research that night, and I just bought a new stick burner, $3,600 from Lone Star Grills down there in North Houston. And I never used it again after building that drum. It's just the ease of use, the mobility of it, loading it in the back of your truck for a cook-off, not having to take a half a cord of wood and stay up all night. I'm cooking my brisket in competition in under 3 hours. So yeah, all that, the ease of use, set it and forget it. It's the most amazing machine.
Yep. Once you get those things dialed in, they don't move.
Yeah, you're right. That's a true story.
Just set and forget. And for me, a friend of mine, he's my friend of mine named Judd. His friend went over. He's back and forwards from the States with helicopters and things like that. And he came back and he said, "Oh, check this out! Look what I've just seen over there." And told us about this Ugly Drum Smoker, and we were like, "What is this thing?" So he built one, and I just loved it straight away. And so I built one, and then other friends were like, "Oh, can you build me one?" So I started building them, and then there was a Facebook page, and people are on there saying, "We need to start buying these UDS parts from America." And like all good plans, nothing ever happened. And so I thought, well, rather than buying something from the States, I'll start making parts as well. And I met Steven online through the Facebook page and his Facebook page, and we got to talking, and I told him what I was thinking of doing, and he's been a big mentor to me. And so I started building parts in Australia, and yeah, people started buying parts, and I'm building drums and making custom drums with people's logos and business logos and colours, and it's just gone from there.
What in the world? So when did you guys start competing or start cooking barbecue?
Well, for me, you're born and raised in Texas. Well, we cook it since she's knee high. Your parents cooking it, grandpa's cooking it, neighbors are cooking it. But what about you, Adam?
For me, very similar. I have an Italian background, so we've had barbecue as a kid. My nonna would cook over an open fire, making polenta and things like that. And also my grandfather, on my mother's side, he was Australian, and we have a different kind of barbecue in Australia where you're cooking steak and sausages and lamb chops and chicken over fire sort of thing, more like a grill, So I've always grown up around cooking meat, cooking with fire, things like that. And it was only I got into the low and slow with the UDS maybe 2017, pretty late to the game. But yeah, the low and slow is definitely where it's at the moment. So, and it's just getting bigger and bigger in Australia. There's some really big guys in Australia cooking some awesome low and slow.
Well, at the World Championship, the State World Championship, which was this weekend here in Fort Worth, you know, had people from all over the world. I think there were about 17 Australians that were, you know, all different teams
that I know of, yeah,
that had won a golden ticket.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and a lot of the guys now are flying back to Australia to go to Melbourne to compete in Meat Stock Melbourne. So yes, so there's a really good presence of Australian guys and girls cooking some great barbecue.
Yeah, they got a cook-off called Meat Stock.
Yeah,
like Woodstock, but it's Meat Stock.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do they cook down there at Meat Stock?
So Meat Stock, it's a massive festival that goes for a few days. It's been going for a few years now, and they do have a competition side where they're cooking brisket and ribs and lamb, I think. And so there's one side of that, but there's also a vendor side of it. And then on the side there'll be, you know, there's a stage with you know, rock bands playing and different barbecue teams that are actually cooking and selling their products as well. And then there's other little vendors and there's rides and stuff. It's a massive big event in Australia at the moment. So that's been going for a few years now. And due to COVID, it's slowed down, but I think they stopped it, actually cancelled it. But it's back again. And yeah, it normally gets sold out very, very quickly.
Well, here's a weird meat question. I mean, I know Texas, I mean, we're America. It's chicken ribs, pork brisket.
Yep.
Is there any exotic type being from Australia, like kangaroo or any exotic meat?
I think they stick to pretty similar to what America does, but I haven't competed myself, but I don't see why they couldn't use kangaroo as sort of a wild card thing.
An open entry.
Yeah, an open entry. But I don't know of anybody doing like a low and slow with it. But not to say that nobody's done it, but I don't know. And not being in the competition, seeing that much, yeah, I'm not sure. But there's no reason why you can't do it. Kangaroo is a game meat, so I guess it's kind of similar to what you'd like with venison, another gamey kind of meat. So whatever you could do with that, I guess you could do with kangaroo.
He set me off pretty straight that it doesn't taste like chicken.
No, it doesn't.
That was my next question.
No, it doesn't taste like chicken. No, it's a very lean meat, and it's gamey, but it's quite nice. It's good, and you know, got making steaks out of it, jerky out of it, so all sorts of things.
Nice.
Are ugly drum smoker parts hard to get in Australia? Does that take a while to get that going?
Yeah, it's slow, and I guess like everything that trickles down from America, it takes a bit of time to get going in Australia, but it's picking up. It really is. The UDS scene is getting bigger and bigger. A lot of teams are now starting to get UDSs for their comps because they're just so easy to run. Like you can really just set and forget. They're not that expensive to make yourself. I mean, if you've got the time, it's you need to put the time into it. But a lot of teams are making their own or getting guys like myself to build them. And they can have 3 or 4 drums for different proteins and things like that in the same space that you need an offset, a stick burner. So they're becoming more and more popular. But there's only a few guys in Australia making parts. I'm the only one that makes square parts, whereas everybody else goes for more the traditional sort of UDS parts, sort of gateway, round intakes, round exhaust. So
he builds his with a little character.
Yeah,
not just plain Jane.
Yeah, I didn't want to copy everyone. I wanted to do my own thing, so I went square with everything, which makes it difficult. But fitting a square part on a round drum, but we get around it, and this gives it my own style.
What do y'all cook on?
A lot.
I cook
Which
on
day?
three drums and a Weber Smoky Mountain is mainly what I cook on.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
3 drums. There you go. I like that guy.
Yeah.
Homemade drums.
Awesome.
Yep. WSMs, drums, offset stick burners, kettles. I mean, you name it, we've got it. Hell, I got a Gen Air gas grill that hasn't seen daylight in 5-6 years.
I do have a gas grill on my patio that actually I do use a good amount, just for whenever I want to cook for the family one night during dinner or for dinner.
Yeah,
A lot of rookies do that.
a lot of rookies. I've got a gas that I don't use. It's out on my veranda. I don't use it, but if I do use it, it's only for something very, very quick. Otherwise, it's in the UDS. I've got my UDS. My gas is upstairs. My UDS is out on my front porch. Everyone can see it, and that's what if I'm going to barbecue, I do that in that.
Now, Adam's come up with we've got a video on it, but we waited till he come here. We're going to go see our fabricator and redesign it, but he's called
It's called a braai grill.
Braai, B-R-A-I.
Yeah, braai is a South African word for barbecue. So in Australia, I've got a really good mate named Gary that's South African. And when I first met him, he goes, come over for a braai. And I'm like, what's a braai? And it's their barbecue and you're cooking over charcoal. And so then I showed him my drums and he's like, this is awesome, and then we got to talking and we came up with this idea for a braai grill for the UDS. So instead of just using the UDS only purely for smoking, you can put this part in it and then you can turn the UDS into a charcoal barbecue and you can sear your steaks on it. I would put a rotisserie on it. You can put, rotisserie chicken or porchetta on there or, rolled lamb or something.
It slips down inside the drum and sits on the top grate.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Yeah, so if you've got 2 drums, you can have one drum where you can, do a reverse sear. So you smoke your steak or your tomahawk in that, and then quickly, put it on the top of the other UDS and give it that grill, the flame grill, and then it's good.
Is it going to come with its own grate? Because I know competition guys, we try to keep that grate as clean as possible, so we're not going to sear on it like a grill. So would you have your own grate for it?
Yeah, well, in Australia, I'm trying to keep prices right down. The UDS Australia for me, it's a hobby, and with the prices of steel and everything like that in Australia and fabrication, like I do all the fabricating. I get it all laser cut and I roll it and I roll it and I build it. So I try and keep all the costs down. So because I've made it to fit the same size as the Weber grill, the grill that goes in the UDS, I don't sell it in Australia with an extra grill. It comes with a charcoal grate. It comes with the hook to get the charcoal grate out because the braai grill it catches all the ash. The ash won't fall out, so you're not having to clean inside the drum. So you can take it out, pull the charcoal grate out, and tip it out. But because the UDS that I sell, the grills fit inside it, I sell it without it. So it's a cheaper price for the people in Australia. But here, you guys seem to have everything much cheaper than Australia. So there's no reason why. I've given all the drawings to Steven to get manufactured in America as well, like here in Texas. That way then, if people in America want to buy it, they don't have to pay the shipping from Australia to America as well as the cost of the part. So that's why I've given it to Steven. He knows his people and he'll get it made here. So there's no reason why here it couldn't come with its own separate grill, of course.
Yeah.
In Australia, I try and keep everything. My profit margins are really low. I'm not in it to make money. I'm in it because I enjoy the UDS. I enjoy using the UDS platform to promote other people as well, other Aussies that that they're on their own, like doing their own small business. So I get enjoyment from seeing the success from other guys in Australia doing well, and I just use the UDS platform to try and push what I can for those people. As well as meeting other people. If it wasn't for UDS, I would never have met Steven 5 years ago. I wouldn't have met Daniel, who I came over to Texas with, who competed in the SCA. There's a heap of guys, like afterwards, I'm going to give a shout out to, just off the top of my head. But all these people, unreal people that I've met, overseas and in Australia. I would never have met if it wasn't for UDS. So that's my way of just trying to give back to them and just push them. And I really get a kick out of seeing, you know, these guys and girls succeed. So
Nice.
Yeah, that is. I was going to ask you your favorite brand of charcoal, but I think I got the answer already.
Well, over here, I've only been exclusively using Royal Oak, but back home, I use charcoal from Pro Flame Barbecue, and I get that from Sydney Barbecue and Rotisseries back home because their charcoal is just excellent. So I find that burns really hot and really long. So that's what I use. But here, I've been using Royal Oak exclusively, but back home, it's from Pro Flame, their barbecue fuel.
So, what's the strangest thing you've ever smoked being from Australia? Have you smoked? I heard like the world's deadliest snakes are in Australia. Have you ever cooked one of those?
Yeah, I think we've got, of the deadly snakes in the world, we've got the top 10. No, I haven't smoked snake. We generally don't eat snake in Australia. We kind of just stick to the farm animals a bit and some of our native animals. Yeah, nothing really weird. Nothing I've smoked. I smoked fish. I made fish bacon. I made bacon from swordfish and marlin, from the marlin belly and the swordfish belly, and I smoked that, and that was fantastic. I did a YouTube, Instagram post on that, Facebook post on that. So that might be the weirdest. I usually get the weirdest looks when I say that I made fish bacon, so that's probably the weirdest thing.
Fish bacon, yeah, that would be a little weird.
Yeah, you told me about it earlier. I was going, fish bacon.
Everybody says fish bacon, and then they try it and go, fish bacon.
Bacon comes from a pig. I mean, I'm not sure about fish. But...
Amen.
No, bacon's the process. Bacon's the curing process of the belly or the loin. So same as ham. When you're hamming something, you can ham, like I've hammed pork, I've hammed lamb, and I've hammed venison. So, and the venison ham is fantastic. So if you've got some, you know, venison that you want to do something different with, turn it into ham. It's beautiful.
So the Ugly Drum Smokers, all the Facebook groups and all that is all connected. I'm just confused how all this works.
It's just different Facebook groups that we've all, you know, he would join one and then we get to talking with each other and then start his own page. He started his own, building his own. We just kind of mentor each other and help each other out and build a rapport. And he said he's coming. He said, like, he was talking about how we met each other and the people that we visited with this weekend at the SCA contest. It was all through social media. We developed a friendship, talked. We mailed each other stuff and helped each other grow in the business. And kind of like he was talking about shipping parts. I said, you can't be successful shipping parts, even in America, shipping parts. If you're going to be a builder or just build as a hobby, you've got to learn to find somebody to make the parts local.
Yeah.
That shipping on the heavy parts will kill you. And especially when you ship in Australia.
Yeah.
So, man, they do UDS parts and some other companies ship to Australia. They ship all around the world, but it costs you a fortune to get it. So, it's best to make it yourself. But we just help each other out, and we've had a fantastic time. Matter of fact, everybody come for the weekend. They're all getting on a plane this weekend. He's staying another week. He decided to stay this weekend. We got a cook-off here in Weatherford, where I live, in Weatherford, Texas, and we're having a $30,000 payout plus money. And he said, I think I'll stay for that.
So the Facebook. Sorry, I'm just trying to clarify for our people that are watching. It's just for anybody that's interested in Ugly Drum Smokers or building them themselves, or
Ugly Drum Smokers. Basically, my site I started because I couldn't find anybody. Once you drill a hole in the barrel, it's there, and I couldn't find anybody on the other ones that would give you a solid answer. You know, you get 10 different answers. There was nobody cleaning up the mess. So I started one, you know, to help people build their own. I don't want to sell you a thing. I want to help you build one. Many people, I say, you know what, if you come out here, I have the drum, bring your kit. I'll spend a day and help you for free. And I'll probably get 2 or 3 people a month come out and do that. And so they're in a drum for $200-$300 versus paying $600 to $800 or $1,000. So it's pushing it. It's helping other barbecue brothers get learn the dream of a UDS because it's so simple. Somebody said, when are you going to stop building them? I said, when everybody has 2 in their backyard.
Four.
And with my Facebook page, I've got 2 Ugly Drum Smoker Australian pages. One's the business page, which outlines all my parts and the prices and stuff. And the other one is a social page where people get on there, post their cooks, ask questions. I provide advice for them. And everybody just gets on there and just shares what they're doing. And that's a place where I always say there's no such thing as a dumb question, but there's plenty of stupid answers out there. And I just encourage everyone, just share what you're doing, share your cook-ups, share your builds, and just shoot me a message or just put a message to the group if you have any issues. So they're their own separate step. And there's another mate of mine, Jonathan, that you spoke with before. He's got Ugly Drum Smokers Florida. Jonathan Mardone. Yeah, so that hooked me roped me into this podcast. So their own standalone pages, and my page is like I like Steven, so I'm a member of that one. I'm a member of Jonathan's, and we're all members of each other's. It's just separate pages, like different channels, I guess.
My last drum I had, I found on Marketplace for $40, and then I modified it. It was
real.
I can send pictures. It was rust, and I'm just gonna clear coat it because it's got that beautiful blue, light blue and rust color. It's an ugly, that's for dang sure, but
like a rat rod.
Well,
yes, that's exactly what it is.
They cook better ugly, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because you're not babying it.
That is by far my best cooking drum. It is my ugliest, but it's my best cooking.
Yeah, I agree. I bet it is.
It holds temp like a dream, and it doesn't take very long to get hot. It just runs good.
That's the beauty of it. You just once you've got it dialed in and you know what you're doing. Like before, I used to have a thermometer probe, and I'd have this hooked up, and it'll be on my phone, and temperature this and that. I'd be sitting there worrying. It was at the start, but now I just set it and then walk in, go to bed, and wake up in the morning. It's still running smooth, no problem. If you've got good charcoal and your drum, it just goes. It just chugs along, no problem at all. And it's so easy. It's effortless.
Yes, it is. That is one thing I do love about drums. My Weber Smoky Mountain's kind of that way too now, but I've owned it forever, so I know all its quirks.
Yeah.
So those of you that are the little bit that you guys do compete, do you have any advice? Not even competing. People want to cook in their backyard. Do you have any advice for them?
Well, my first I wasn't in the competition. I was here supporting Daniel from Steak and Clear the Queue. But what I picked up from this weekend, from my point of view, just being like a pit crew, is you just got to be there. Just whatever the cook needs, just make sure you've got it ready. Whether it's times or scraping grills, spraying grills, getting condiments ready, getting things that they need. You need to have. From what I learned this weekend, you need to have a good pit crew, people that are there that want to see your success, because that's what I did for this weekend for Daniel. And Steven, he entered as well. He got peer pressured into a competition, and that's what I learned. And from watching Daniel, just knowing what you're going to do, sticking to what you know, not making changes on the day, having the plan already in your head, ready to go before you even get there. So like you've already done the cook before you've even got there on the day. And Daniel turned in some really good stuff. He got a gold ticket from Australia for the ancillary, and he already knew what he was going to do. And then he also did a good turning for the steak on the Cowtown Classic. So, and that for me, I learned a lot from that. So as a brand Nubian, first competition I've kind of been in. I wasn't competing, I was there supporting. That's what I learned from the day.
I think what I'm saying is pretty much organization. And the key to competition barbecue, I think the best advice you've been given is that at some point, everybody's got their meat cooked, close to perfect. It's what you do they're all even up until the last 15 minutes. It's what you do in that 15 minutes. How focused are you? What's your passion? All the way to you turn and drop that box off. It's what you do in those 15 minutes. That makes or breaks if you walk or not. You're not focused. You don't have a team behind you that's there for the party. Like some of them out there were, there were some drunks out there. They were falling down. But you got 500 teams out there. You're going to get that here and there. But overall, it was good. It was a good cook, but it's just what you do in that 15 minutes. If you're not paying attention, you're not focused, you may not have the best cooked meat. But if you've done what you're supposed to do in that 15 minutes, you're going to get up out of your chair.
I took a class this weekend, and that was the part I needed to learn, was how to finish, how to get that last push. Because I was cooking it fine. It was just getting the presentation and the final moments. Because you can fix or screw up your cook in the last 10 or 15 minutes by far.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
True story.
Yeah. I think we saw a few teams do that too, running perfect, and it was just the last bit. And even when they walked in, they went, "No, I know where I've done wrong. I won't be getting called up."
Well, it's like you just said, I wasn't out there to cook. It's steak cook-off. I cook barbecue competition. I never cooked a steak cook-off. But I provided my PK grill for them, my canopy, tables, knives, everything. All in the brought with your rubs. And then they, all morning long, cook. Finally, I said, okay, but go enter me. We only got one grill. Get me on a different flight, you know. He brought back the same red chip, which means I only got one grill. I had to go buy where's that? $500 Hasty Bake was the only person selling grills out there.
Oh.
$500 plus $150 entry fee. Later, I get a 118th place steak out of 500. Got me a new Hasty Bake though. I've never used one before, and I used it the first time yesterday. But I like it. It seems to work well. Have you used one?
I've never tried one.
Never used one.
Well, I got one. You want to buy one?
What's the used price?
It's a nice unit. It worked well. It really did. It worked extremely well.
Yeah.
And it cleaned up real quick, easy, lock it down, carry it like a suitcase. I kind of like it.
I was impressed. It got hot very quick, and then when we finished, it cooled down very quick, so we could pack it away really quickly. But yeah,
for a tailgate option, it's nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. Steven came out to help and ended up entering.
Yeah, I had to call Mike Densmore with Outdoor Grill Sales in Weatherford, 30 minutes away. He had to bring me spices that I needed. And bless his heart, him and his wife came out.
Yeah.
But we met some fantastic people, from all over the world. News crews there from all over the world. We were interviewed a few times, and it was great.
Yeah, it was an awesome weekend.
I'll tell you what.
Barbecue. It's a brotherhood out there.
Steve, I joined your group so we could post about this interview. So when you throw the Hasty Bake up for a giveaway, I'll enter.
I love it.
That's funny.
We're going to have a barbecue competition class here. We just finalized today. Texas Oil Dust, Aaron Leslie will be here. We'll have a class here May 14th, I think we have chosen the date. And let me see or make sure on that. It will be May 12th, a Saturday and a Sunday. So it'll be $750 a person, $500 per spouse. We fill up we do this usually twice a year. We usually have a full class, so we'll be announcing that probably in the group by the end of the day or tomorrow. And y'all would love to have y'all down.
It's awesome to have somebody on here that's from Australia too. That's definitely a first.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. When Jonathan roped me in, I was like, "What have you done to me?" But no, I really appreciate it. Like, to be over here with Steven and be able to do this with Steven and you guys, it really is a privilege for me. So I really, thank you guys.
We love Jonathan. He's great.
Yeah, he's a classic. He's such a character. And again, I met him through social media, and he was putting out like these unreal looking drums, and that's how I got hooked up with him. Like, because I just admire his drums, the bright colours, they're all popping, and his customization on them. And so we got to talking and swapping ideas, and this is what I'm doing, and so we just hit it off. And he's such a nice guy. So Yeah, again through the Facebook and through social media and mainly through UDS. So that's unreal.
Yeah, I met Jonathan. He ordered a drum through me, and I had a friend going that way, and he drove it over there. My cat piece. He drove it over there all the way to Georgia from Texas, and I met him down somewhere in Georgia on that line there. And he drove up from Florida and picked it up, and he fell in love with it and started making it.
Nice.
They call it UDS fever. You know, once you build a couple, and you think, I'm going to build me one. Then you cook on it and say, I wish I'd have done this. I'm going to give this to my uncle and build me another one. Then I'm going to give this
Yeah.
to you. I'm going to build me another one. Then next thing you know, you're building them.
That's it.
I have 3, and they all 3 are set up completely different, and they all 3 cook different.
Yeah.
That's what's good about them.
I can build 3 drums exactly the same to the last weld, and all 3 will cook different.
Yep.
I'll say, well, there's my brisket drum. That's my rib drum. That's my chicken drum.
It's exactly what I did when I got mine.
Yeah.
No, we're just. What's that? No, you go ahead.
I was going to say, I think it's good if you've got multiple drums for different proteins, because that way then you're not getting different flavors or cross-contaminating. This one's purely beef, this is chicken, this is pork.
Or you got to wrap your ribs or your brisket. Now you've got the foil bouncing that heat off onto the raw meat. So
Yep.
I've had that burn my chicken before. I did that at a comp when I started out, and I wrap that full, and I mean the outside, not the bottom, not the top, that outside edges next to that full just burn. You get that reflection that heat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, we're just 2 laid back guys who just enjoy cooking and talking about barbecue. So that's why we kind of decided to start this whole shebang. It's been interesting.
Now were y'all out of Kansas and Missouri?
Kansas and Missouri.
I just come back from there 2 months ago. I took Fergalicious class up at the new
Oh yeah.
Proud Soul.
Oh, Proud Souls, yeah.
Yeah, we went over to Slaps or
Yes.
Yep.
Slaps Barbecue. Wasn't real happy, but it was decent enough. I kind of think they cut that brisket paper thin now,
Probably.
but it was pretty good. The class was great. The people. We went to a few stores, so nice. I thought Texas was a friendly state. They were champion. Every store I went into, these people almost followed me around. They helped me shop.
Nice.
Speaking of friendly people, when people say, what's Texas like? And I say, it's like Sydney, but very friendly. Everybody here is super friendly. Unbelievable. Like, it's a really nice place. Like, if I was to move anywhere that's like Sydney, Texas would be it.
Yep.
I went to Texas this summer, and if I had to live in any other state, it would be Texas.
Yeah, it's so friendly. Like, the people just go out of their way to be friendly. So it's, I've been having a really great time here in Texas.
We've enjoyed having you.
Yeah.
We ain't done yet.
and everything, like, just like you go into I go into Walmart, I'm taking selfies at the front of Walmart. People are like, look at this weird guy. And then, like, we're looking at bags of chips, and we might have a small selection in Australia, but you guys like an aisle.
A whole aisle full of chips.
You need a golf cart to get down there to look at all the chips. And when Daniel and I, they were like, looking around like this, unbelievable. Just the variety you have here is incredible. And
Was that at HEB?
Yeah, HEB. That's the best.
Yeah.
I love it.
His first stop, I picked him up. We stopped at HEB, and the girl's cashier's name was Sydney.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah.
And we're the only city in Texas, and our high school's the Kangaroo.
Yeah, so I had to get it.
That's crazy.
The Weatherford Kangaroo.
Yeah,
That's funny.
Now, he needs a picture with Buc-ee's.
Yes, he does.
You need to go to Buc-ee's gas station.
Everybody said, take him to a Buc-ee's. I don't have one around here, but when we go to the airport, there's one on the way. We're going to stop.
That's
Yep.
funny.
I'm down in Texas like 3 times a year.
He had Chick-fil-A, Whataburger. He hated Whataburger. We've had In-N-Out last night. That's my first time. He's tried all the hamburgers in the stores here. There's the Mexican food, Roses. So far, Chick-fil-A's his favorite.
Oh, no, probably my favorite that isn't fast food is R&K Cafe.
R&K
Oh,
Cafe.
man, they got some chicken fried steak. That's the best. I love it. I had it for breakfast this morning.
Yeah, chicken fried steak for breakfast.
Yeah, it's the best. I love it, man. I think I've got to go back home and go on a diet again because I think I'm sure I put on 20 or 30 pounds just being here in a week. Like, there's so much food. It's the best.
Welcome to America. We're all a little fluffy.
Yeah. I was telling the waitress at Montana. Montana's?
Uh-huh.
Montana's like how much I eat, and she looked at me like when I'm in Australia. I told her how much, like my calorie intake in Australia. And she goes, "Really? My mum eats more than that." I said, like I think I eat more for breakfast than I do on a whole day in Australia. So, but it's all good. I'm here on holiday. Like they say, when in Rome, and I'm just enjoying myself with Steven. He's been an awesome host. Like, yeah, nothing's too much for this man.
That's too funny. Well, Brian, do you have any questions for him before we let him go?
How far, Steve? How far are you from Houston?
That's right. I'm from this area, but I just moved from Houston. I've been there 25 years, and happiness is Houston, Texas, in my rearview mirror. But I'm 4 hours and 5 minutes from the city limit sign.
Oh, so it'd be a little drive for him to go get a photo with the Sam Houston statue, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, no. We're going to Houston tomorrow. My powder coater.
There you go.
We're going to Tomball, Texas. Then I'm.
Oh yeah.
This weekend, so I'm going to Conroe to get my brisket from Majack's Meat Market, the best butcher in all of Texas, and then we're going to stop at the statue on the way by.
Nice, yeah. Yeah, we got family in Houston. I got family right outside in Spring, so we're there all the time.
Yeah, that's where I live, in the Woodlands in Spring.
Yeah, yep. Yep. I'll be darned. Well, definitely give a shout out to all your sponsors that you guys have.
Yeah, I got my seasons out here. I couldn't be successful without them. And I got Texas Oil Dust. Aaron Leslie provides me with all my spices. The best barbecue glaze in the world, Stig, still in the game. STIG, Stig. This, if you're not using this, you're not placing. Inkberg thermometers, they provide me and Adam both.
Yep.
Sky Knightley out of Inkberg thermometers. I get all their new products. I'll probably get a dozen of them to give away during the class. They're just the best. And I got these are magnetic. They light up, rechargeable. I got 5 or 6 on my shop wall out there, magnetized, out there in the elements. Been sitting out there for years. They last. And Jinday Industries is my knife maker, Master Kuo. He makes all the Hollywood swords, the fancy ones you see in the Star Wars and all the movies. He makes my knives engraved for me. That's my brisket knife.
Is that a knife or a machine?
Jinday Industries. That's a knife.
That's a sword.
Master Kuo, Jinday Industries.
So in Australia, Inkbird also supports me. We both help each other, and the lady, her name is Jin Lee, and they're always sending stuff out, and I try to have giveaways on my page. My barbecue shirts that I get made are through Credible Clothing. So I have these barbecue shirts I made it from Steve. I made it for Daniel Drinkwater. It has sponsors on the front and back and flames. Any design that you want, he puts it on there. But I don't really have any other sponsors as such. But I've got a list of mates that are in the barbecue industry that are doing rubs and different things. So
hold on, I got to remember I'm a brand ambassador for Roll Oak Charcoal. I was talking about what's in front of me, not behind me. Roll Oak Charcoal. If you're not using Roll Oak, let me tell you what, it's the best charcoal on the market. Period, hands down. I've used them all.
Yeah. I've got to say, coming here and using Roll Oak is really, really good. We've been out here smoking, and it's up there. It's so good, easy to light, good heat, lasts long. They don't sponsor me, so if they want to, they can. I'm happy to be an ambassador in Australia, but no, just the first time using them, really impressive. It's really, really good. But for me, back home, some of my friends, I get my charcoal from Pro Flame through Sydney Barbecue and Rotisserie, so my mate Erkan's there. My rubs and whatnot I get from a friend called Dwayne Still out of Canberra, ACT Canberra, and that's Still Smoking Barbecue Supplies. couple of friends. Oh, Daniel Drinkwater also, Steak and Q. He's the one who come over here and invited me to come along and support. So I've got to do a big shout out to Daniel, because if he didn't get his golden ticket, I probably wouldn't be out here. And he's Steak and Clear the Q. He's based in South Australia. I'm based in New South Wales. A couple of friends. I've got Chris Habib from the Smoker Baker Ice Cream Maker. You might see him on Instagram, TikTok. He's blowing up with his crispy pork crackle. Mate Dean from Toad's Kitchen Cupboard, TKC. Aaron Palmer from Low and Slow Basics. He was out here competing this weekend. A friend of mine, good guy, really good guy. He's blowing up on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. Brett Gray from Meat Graffiti, he was out competing as well this weekend. He's got a new rub coming up. They do their own rubs and spices. He's got a new rub coming up with jalapeno, which is going to be really great for chicken and pork. So look out for that. I don't know if it's been released yet. John Austin from Aussie Q Barbecue Rubs. He's in Queensland. Owen from Raging Bull American Barbecue. He's based in New South Wales on Bateman's Bay. He's doing some great stuff down there. We've got another mate, Ben from Off-Road Butcher Barbecue, South Australia. Tom from Smoky Pastures. Sam from Low and Slow, Sauce Low and Slow. He does different rubs, which are fantastic. Fat Pixie, they're a hard cider company based in Sydney, and they do this awesome hard ginger beer. Like, it's alcoholic ginger beer, which is fantastic. It's my favourite. It's 8.7%, in a 375ml can. Fantastic. Coast and Smoke Rubs, they're doing some great rubs too. We've got Russ also from Natural Smoke Barbecue Woods. But also, just wanted to shout out to some guys I met from the SCA this week. We've got Michael from Gridiron Junkies. He came over and he was wonderful. He's come over and given us heaps of help. Yeah. Your mate Jason,
Wow.
Jason Faust from Squash Barbecue, but also other Jason from that came over. He was sitting in the middle.
No, I don't remember.
Yeah, he was came down and helped me with the barbecue. He was telling me the turn.
Oh yeah, I don't remember that.
Yeah. So Jason, there was another guy called Michael. He was part of the Japanese team. He was there, and Scott from Surefire Food. There's heaps of guys out there, and there's a lot of guys back home I've probably forgotten. This is just off the top of my head, but Ryan, your mate Ryan was there. There's so many guys, but I don't have any sponsors, so if anybody wants to sponsor me or needs me to be an ambassador, I'm more than happy to, as I said, I'm happy to help other businesses be successful in any way I can, and I really enjoy seeing the small, mum and dad businesses doing as best as they can and just trying to push and promote them. So, there's a shout out if everyone wants to jump up and go on.
And we've enjoyed being on the show. We appreciate y'all having us.
Absolutely. Big thank you.
Thank you guys for coming on.
Yeah, definitely.
Opportunity to chat with you guys and talk to your audience and hopefully represent Australia well. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.